CC Mixter is my favorite place to create music. I truly value the encouragement of our community, and I love it when artists build upon my works. They make me sound better than I ever could alone. Sharing with others has opened many opportunities for me. Thank you, CC Mixter. Mixter is my favorite place to create music. I truly value the encouragement of our community, and I love it when artists build upon my works. They make me sound better than I ever could alone. Sharing with others has opened many opportunities for me. Thank you, CC Mixter.
All right, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Agasically Stamus from the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube, as well as the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube, and the VR Nights Game Show on the Gamer Show channel on YouTube. Back for another night of the Artificial Capers in VR. Tonight we're going to be playing a little bit more Redout Enhanced Edition using the Rift S. And probably going to be about 45 minutes flight time, up and down, because I can only stay under the visor for so much. As I have explained in the chat and writing, unfortunately on VR game nights, I have the chat locked to followers only, just because when I'm underneath the visor, I can't police and moderate the chat. So, and for people who are followers who are in the chat, voicing it up, I will peek out from underneath the visor every race or two and see what I can do to engage. Obviously, unfortunately, the reality is this live stream, these VR live streams are really much more so gaming demonstrations, as there's just not as much opportunity to engage with the audience, but anybody can definitely swing by during my conventional live streams when audience engagement is more at the norm. So let me do a few more pre-flight checks on the audio, and then we will be getting started here proper pretty shortly. Okay, can we verify we've got good voiceover commentary coming out in the live stream? Can we verify we've got good voiceover commentary at good audio mix balance coming out in the live stream? Okay, audio seems pretty good. I'm gonna get juiced up with some coffee here before we get started. I was definitely fading out last night, and as I wind up getting started so late streaming, despite my best intentions, and it gets hot underneath the visor. Of course, I'm always loath to put the coffee cup on the desk in front of me, because when I'm underneath the visor, every once in a while I reach out trying to find something. It leaves a good high chance of tipping the coffee cup over on the desktop. In general, though, drinking coffee while gaming is something that I do, but drinking coffee while playing in VR is something I have not quite figured out yet. This particular cup is super hot, so we're going to have to put that aside. Wasn't particularly happy with the gaming session last night. I didn't make a lot of progress. Like I said, one of the problems was I was super tired. Really looking forward to when they hopefully enable the sensor cam pass-through on manual initiation. These the cameras that are in the visor only activate when you hit the Guardian perimeter. Hey Google, start a 45-minute timer.
Okay, 45 minutes. Starting now.
But maybe we'll have some better luck tonight and be able to make some decent progress. Alright, so we are Abruzzo Bridges. Last two pure race 3 laps. I'm in Germangander and Königsworth. We'll go ahead and stick with that and go ahead and get warmed up tonight. Active power is turbo boost. I also haven't gotten a good warm fuzzy that these active powers really activate when I expect them to. I may not actually have this figured out Alright, so... No. Alright. No. Alright, kind of like that color. No! Flip. Wait. Koenigsegg. What? Using the analog stick seems to often cause it to flip out. Alright. I'm down with that color scheme. But I do want to hit some upgrades. Ships, abilities. So I've already done the turbine upgrade. Can't afford to upgrade the magnets. Alright, again, my active power-up is Turbo Boost. Now this is just going to kind of be a warm-up race. See if we can get settled into things. This is one of the most difficult headsets to get off of my face and maneuver it to a position where I can see out. Because it's got this really thick foam lining. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Now, I raced this a bit last night and did not do very well. This gaming chair has a head pillow that goes behind it. I have removed it to play this game because I have to spend so much time looking up to maintain my line of sight on the track. Ah! Whew. So last night I floated outside the edge of the track. Yeah, this is what's frustrating, man. Like, I'm not in a slow class of vehicle. I'm all the way... Like, I almost never run all the way back in 7th. Not for any lengthy period of time. This track, though, I just have not... gotten a groove down sufficiently to... this is so frustrating. I think I'm gonna try switching craft when I get done with this. Not gotten this Koenigsegg to settle in and for me to feel comfortable in it. I'm also just not getting this track memorized. Not thinking far enough ahead of some of these turns either. And those are the wall touches that are killing me. That one too. Wow, that dude's finished the race. I'm still way back here. Ridiculous. I'm not getting it. Nah, we're gonna... I gotta do something. Koenigsegg's not cutting it. The Sula. I do not have enough to even buy these ships. I believe this is a Class 2 only race. The Lunaire, that has not worked out well when I've driven it. But we will go ahead and give it a shot. change ship colors. Let's look into some upgrade. Well, you're not gonna be able to buy those. Let's change up my power-ups. Energy drainer. Go ahead and equip that. Actually, let's use the turbo boost. And then, yeah, we'll keep the augmented propeller. Can I upgrade that turbo boost? I can, but I'm going to hold on to it because I do want to bank my money in order to make some actual vehicle improvements to the actual performance parameters of the hovercrafts. That's my focus rather than upgrading these. Alright. Equip. That may be just as good as it's gonna get. Try and get a little more spot of coffee. I'm really not liking this camera spot either. No, that didn't really help. Alright, I think that's a little bit better. Let's go ahead and get this second round in. So I've had the Rift S for about 3 weeks maybe.
2, 1, go.
Oh, that's got some boost to it. Whoa, easy there. This is doing a little better. This thing is super fast, but doesn't maneuver that well. Doesn't corner as good. Back in the 5th after getting off to a really good start. Seems like the turbo blasted. I stopped paying attention. Ah! Frippin' A, how am I back in 7th again? Gave us such a great soundtrack. I really like the music in this. I've also recently been playing Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark. It also has a really good soundtrack. I don't get it. I don't get how I'm stuck in 7th and cannot make any headway. Like, how in the world... Like,
Final lap.
I've just never had this problem on any event. Up until this point, I don't get it. I didn't realize that power-ups are not enabled for this event. That would explain a good deal.
Finish.
Wow, I finished in 6th. Freaking crap. Yep, we'll be trying that again. I did have one really good run, I think the very first time that I drove the track. I was very close to coming in second, but...
Go.
Ah! There's the nausea starting to settle in. Gotta do better with the wall bounces. And the problem is once you're behind, like, there's just not enough room to catch up.
Final lap.
And it seems like spamming turbo doesn't help either. So I've been racing a little differently, trying to let it fill up all the way before I hit it. But whether I do that or do short bursts doesn't seem to make any difference on this track. Yeah, I had a great first lap, but got into the 7th position in the second lap and can't get out of it. And I'm definitely in the mode now where once I fall behind, I get frustrated and I race even worse.
Finish.
Great. Alright, I'm going to try changing the craft up. And what's killing me is I'm stuck at this point until I can beat this race. What the heck? Okay, something. Alright, so that's what I was just in. That's DLC. I guess I'll pop back into this one. Now with this, Oh, this thing doesn't have... I don't have any of the upgrades on this. Let's go and get that turbine upgrade. See if that helps. Alright. Right, okay. So maybe that'll help. I'm not sure. This does tend to be the vehicle that I'm most comfortable in. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
There's 27 minutes and 55 seconds left.
Alright, here we go. Now, one of the things that's been frustrating me with the Rift S, since I got it on launch day, is that, well, the first thing is a known issue that's out there, which is frequently people have been reporting, and I've had this issue, that when you initially launch the Oculus software and then try and use the visor,
2, 1, go.
it will be blacked out and you'll get no video. And for me, what I had to do to fix that was then sit and swap around DisplayPort ports until it came up. But I mean, I would then have nights that I would do that, and you know, on a GPU with on a GPU with 3 display ports, I would sometimes have to do that, like, just go ahead and restart it. You're never gonna get caught back up.
3, 2,
You know, I would have to swap ports like 9 times or something to finally get one of the display ports to catch. It's ridiculous. It wasn't always like that. It's just that I would have some, you know, normally I would swap once, maybe twice, and it would catch. But then there were some really horrible nights where it just, like, I would be farkling with it till, you know, for an hour trying to get it to get going. Whoa, what the...
3, 2, 1, go.
Now, a recent firmware update and driver update seems to have corrected that issue. And since that driver update, since I applied that yesterday, the visor seems to come up right away every time I start the Oculus software. And I've got it, I'm using it on a second PC now, other than the one I originally installed it on, so... I wish I could figure this track out. So for anybody who watches the, who pops into the live stream or watches the archive version of this video on YouTube, I do apologize that I am not getting this done right now. Freaking 7th again. Ugh. Alright, so I think what I'm going to need to do... It's very uncertain whether or not this is actually going to help. Ah, come on. Drive outside the vehicle. Alright, we'll give that a retry and try and drive from the different camera view. Really don't know what else to try with this thing. Give it another run.
3, 2, 1, go.
The visuals on this game are pretty amazing though. Come on, get off. Oh, I didn't realize. Well, this may be at the point where I'm already too far behind and I'm just never going to get caught up. Vehicle seems pretty durable despite the wall bounces. It seems like I never really am in danger of taking too much damage. Ugh. Ugh. I feel like there's some critical like game mechanic or something that I am just missing, which I don't know what that would be. I mean, I'm level 13. I've put 4 hours into the game. I don't understand what it is that is so vastly different in this race in comparison to the others. That is causing me to underperform it this much. Ah. Unless it's maybe I just have to grind away until I can upgrade the craft enough to actually make the thing competitive. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, losing races and increasing levels, it's just, and still not coming in good. So, can I... Yeah, let's just go all the way back to the beginning. Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome trial, pure time attack. Class 1. Let's just go back and grind it and try and figure out what I'm doing wrong here. At least that'll let me get some laps in and feel like I'm doing something worthwhile than just banging my head against that wall. So let's select that ship. Change the colors like that. And let's look at upgrades. Got that, and that. Change up my power-ups. Drains your whole energy pool for a powerful one-shot turbo boost. You can upgrade that. Now, the nice thing is when you upgrade your power-ups, that applies to... That's true of any... It's at that level for whatever vehicle you get in. That power-up level carries through with you. So, do the augmented propeller. And I don't have enough. Okay. Still, we will carry that for the power-up. Alright, so at least I felt better about how I'm going to spend my time in this. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
16 minutes and 37 seconds to go.
Alright. Come on. I much prefer the HMDs that do an actual flip up. Even though my co-host on the VR Game Nights podcast, Greylock, doesn't particularly care for that physical design. I feel like it works a lot better though. So the other problem I've had with the Oculus Rift S is, and this has been occurring recently.
3, 2, 1, go.
Is the controllers. Like, so when I play a game like this where I'm playing with a game controller, and so I have the Rift S controllers just sitting down on the desk for like a very long time. It seems like they disconnect from the HMD, and then when it comes time to reconnect, they'll reconnect, but they're stuck in like the upside down position, and so you can't interact with like the screens and menus with the controllers. Often I'll lose the light beam on one, like to get this game started. Usually what I'll do is I'll bring up the Rift S, I'll bring up the Oculus software, and then and then I will start Steam VR. And that puts you in this Steam VR waiting room that has a wall that has all of your VR games on it. And I'm in there, and like only one of the light beams on one of the controllers works. It's just really frustrating, and I put out a tweet about it tonight. I'm like, for $400, like I just want... And I've been struggling. I mean, I just gave up on my Acer AH101 Windows Mixed Reality headset, which was the first VR headset that I bought last year. Not doing well. There is a mode that I will sometimes get into that I call Bonky Bonk, where I run into one wall and wall bounce off of it, and then I just get discombobulated and can't get my crap together, and then I bump off of like 3 or 4 walls in a row, and it's fine to wall bounce and like keep going. It's when you get into that wall bouncing where you're discombobulated and like you don't have control of the vehicle. That's when it gets bad. Sandstorms. This game throws so many things at you. Sandstorms. I mean, the tracks are just challenging enough as it is, but then they throw sandstorms and ion storms at you. I'm 0.25 seconds off in this sector. 360-degree loops. Bad enough in conventional gaming, but then throw VR into that, and it's even harder. So yeah, the controller thing is the one that's been frustrating me even more. Because I'll come out of the game and it'll put me back in the Steam VR room. And I'll be stuck. Like, I can't get out of Steam VR because the freaking light wands on the blasted controllers won't work. So, just overall in the last couple weeks, like, my VR gaming has just been so unreliable that I'm like, why am I doing this again? Why am I taking time away from, like... Whew. Restrictions, you cannot use a different team, else the contract will be broken. So this is a bad thing. These contract things come up, and I don't pay attention to them. And then I go into the next race, and then I, like, pick a vehicle or, like, do something to break the contract. So I need to start paying attention to these things in between races. So I have all of the upgrades for that. I didn't even use any of the... Well, I don't think I had any power-ups to use that last race. I wish they would tell you before you went into the race whether or not the power-ups were allowed. Oh, so for next event, so I'm going to have to do this manually each time. Because every time it's going to try and put me back to where I am in my current career track. Sunday Calumet race. Where? I thought it... Okay, it's over here. It tells you it's a class 1. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
T-minus 10 minutes and 19 seconds.
Wow, I really got this started late tonight. So yeah, I've got another VR game called Distance that I've really been wanting to get around to playing, and thought I would get to it tonight, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Which is frustrating me a little. This month is a little weird. So generally what I do is, not generally, but what I do now, since we started this VR-focused podcast, is I program 4 VR sessions per month. So they're on set dates, and they're really triggers, so I don't drop what I'm doing to play in VR, but I force myself whenever I get out of whatever game loop I'm in. Okay, power-ups are not enabled for this race again. To, you know, when I cross through those dates, if you think about it kind of like a trigger or a gate, then I require myself to play VR. Coming out of that, and so this month, my VR game nights were like the 14th, 16th, and 18th. So what happens, so what's going on now is when I get behind, I just lose any opportunity that I have to do conventional gaming in between. And it's just got me in like this deadly downward spiral. So this is the last session in the VR session that I was supposed to start on the 14th. So when I get done with this, I'll start my VR session that was invoked on the 16th, which if I start that tomorrow, I'll be 2 days behind. And then my last VR session, scheduled VR session of the month, is on the 18th. So I'm just jammed up, caught in between these things. Now, new video game day for me comes up also tomorrow. And right now, I'm looking at giving strong consideration to picking up Total War 3 Kingdoms on PC. I've also been on PC for like the last month, so, which is great. I love gaming on the PC, but I also have my Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, which all need some attention as well. Here we go. Walking in first. Now, what that's going to do, the big jump, is that's also going to give me the 32 grand kicker on the contract, right? And what that's going to do for me, contract accomplished, reward 16K. I hope... I guess I'm hoping that that contract, it said 32K. I'm hoping that contract maybe then goes for one more race. Next event. Smooth time attack. Race against the clock, my least favorite racing mode in any racing game ever. I'm not going to change out the power-ups because I have yet to be in a racing mode where the power-ups are actually used. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer? Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
You've got 5 minutes and 19 seconds left.
3, 2,
So it's just bugging me because it's kind of handcuffing me on what kind of gaming I can get done. And I enjoy playing in VR. I don't enjoy the administration, logistics, and troubleshooting. That sometimes can result in me, spending a whole night trying to get a thing going instead of actually gaming, much less streaming. Woo! I missed a thing there. Not even really sure what those things are. Man, I don't even like roller coasters, much less. And this is far more insane than any roller coaster. Really got to get better at trying to read these corners like an actual racing game. I tend to be too lenient on myself about allowing the wall bounces and not feeling bad about it. Just as I've always felt like games like this are so unwieldy that, of course, you're going to hit the wall and bounce off of it several times during a race. Oh. Woof. 47.37. Ah! Now I'm down in the sector. Ugh. So yeah, so I'm gonna be jammed up in VR sessions. Plus, I just, like I said, I just put the chat on follower only when I VR, but not particularly crazy about the live streams that I have to do. Kind of deliberately
Silver medal award.
shielded off from the chat. But there's no other way to really do VR as a live stream. But I certainly hate to do it for like what's going to wind up being like a week straight. Meant to fix that panel order too. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
2 minutes and 13 seconds to go.
So I'm still not gold at that event. That is not cool. Win the next event driving this. Equipped with a level 1 magnetic stabilizer. Needs team or alter the power-up configuration, else the contract will be broken. Okay. I think I'm fine staying in this vehicle. And I'll keep the magnetic stabilizer. So here's what I don't understand, because I'm trying to remember where I just was. Wherever I just was, I got a silver. So now, yeah, the problem is I don't remember what race I was just in. I thought... Yeah. Simoon time attack. Alright, so let's do the swing race. Alright. So this will be my last race for the evening. But yeah, so I'm a little, I don't want to say burned out, but just feeling a little pinched.
3, 2, 1.
Being kind of stuck in VR, stuck on PC. Hey Google, stop the timer. Fripp. Alright, so yeah, I'm just looking forward to when I break free of the current
1.
track. But yeah, I haven't decided if I'm live streaming tomorrow night or not, but whether I even if I don't live stream, I will definitely be gaming, and I'll be getting some new time started in Distance on PC. Hairpin.
Final lap. New record.
Ugh. This is the challenging track. Ugh, nope, carry that too far. Ah. Nope, 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 don't do that.
Finish. New record.
I was trying to find the look behind button.
Congratulations. Gold medal awarded.
Alright, we'll take it. Well, thanks so much for anybody who happened to swing by and join in on the live stream. I do appreciate you. If you were watching the archive version of this over on YouTube, I appreciate you as well. So whenever I come back live streaming, at least if I come back live streaming over the next 2 days, it will be for some more VR, still played with the Oculus Rift S. Like I said, I have a new VR game that I want to check out. I'm now called Distance. It's supposed to be pretty good, so I'll be happy to feature that in live stream on the channel whenever I get back to it. I came up on the schedule part of designing my panels for this new Twitch channel this morning or today, and I just shied away from the notion of locking myself into a schedule with the way I do live streams, where a lot of times I am testing or messing around with hardware under review. The problem then becomes that I want to be live streaming, but I'm futzing around with hardware to either change the studio configuration or test a piece of equipment. So I found that I actually stream more if I just let the schedule be a little random. So like I said, I shied away from that. I may change that, but for right now, it's just a coin toss, every day that I'm going to either live stream or not. So again, thanks so much for everybody who joined in. Until next time, happy hunting, stay safe out there, take care of yourself, play the games that you like, and stream the games that you love. Once again, my name has been Agasically Stainless, aka Game Logic, or Game Log IQ, whichever you would prefer, on Twitch. And this has been another episode in the Artificial Capers in VR. That's going to do it for me. So good night. Good luck and good gaming. I'm out.
Sometimes I think of a better bygone time, but it was not as nice as I got it on my mind. I know there's no better time than now. Some things maybe never change. Maybe some people somehow. Sometimes I wish I was back in the golden years, but I'm afraid they were not shining like your glimmering tears. There ain't no better times than now, no. Some things maybe never change. Maybe some people somehow. Don't turn around, living the wasted years. Don't turn around, living the wasted years. Don't turn around.